this is something that I'm intrigued to see, Jimo, as we come along, the Brennan break.
Yeah, because he seems to have stumbled upon something, doesn't he?
I don't know if anybody's ever tried to hit a break like this, but it's virtually impossible to get that connection with that kind of cut break stance, front ball break. It's something unique, it's something different, but it works.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing, really, how many players end up doing that on a break where there's no sort of rhyme or reason. They're just searching for something, and even they don't really know what they're searching for. It can just be something as, as simple as a feeling, but it looks like Decky's got, ever since he's moved to that break, he seems to have found a little bit of success, and sometimes something like the break can just be all in your mind, and actually you just need to believe in it more than anything else.
Yeah, he's actually got a new break cue as well. He only got it yesterday, and I was with him on the practice table, and he was hitting it really well, so a little bit of a different kind of setup for Deck as well. He's given himself a really good opportunity in this opening frame.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's been a busy bee recently, along with yourself. I know you two have been putting in the serious hard yards. I can't imagine he spent much time on the practice table with everything that's been going on with Ultimate Pool Island, but it's great to have him with us this weekend, fresh off the back of The Last Man Standing and recent announcement of the Province Series as well. Loads going on over the Irish Sea.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to. We've had unbelievable interest for the Province Series, and we'll have some more information coming out on that once we get the Pro Series by into next week. But yes, I've kind of made a point to think Deck, one thing that's great with the dynamic of Deck and I is we fully realise the fact that Deck is a professional pool player, and as such needs to be able to juggle Ultimate Pool Ireland and his commitments to being a pro. Me, on the other hand, the pro side doesn't really come into what I do. Nice positional shot needed just from Deck here. Too much work to do. And a great start for him.
Yeah, I mean, when these first came out, I initially thought they looked a little bit tricky, but the plant going helped him a lot, but it was so well controlled. It's the one thing you notice with Declan is when he's on, his cue ball is pretty much perfect. Really did feel for him, actually. I said as much to him. Speaking of good breaks, by the way, that's a cracker from Flambeau, but a crazy semi, really, because for much of it, Marc didn't even play a shot, especially in that second set with that crazy long frame. And those are tough to take, but he said he and Ryan are trying to take the positives, and realistically, just to get to that stage, they had a phenomenal ride. And sometimes in a tournament like that, when it is so volatile and difficult to get through, sometimes just going, oh, wow, we had a great run there, didn't we?
They only got like 5 frames in the two sets, something like that. It was, I missed it. I had it recorded, and when I was watching it back, I saw Marc put up a post on social media, and I was like, that can't be right. After I looked at what had happened, then I went back and watched it. So,
well, you've done well to go back and watch that frame. It was one for the real fanatics. I'd suggest that one, because usually I love a good tactical frame, but what I wanted out of a semi-final in that match was, because of the best of two and how the Pairs Cup sort of worked with that sort of wham bam style, it's how it is supposed to be. But if that frame was in the first set, I'd have been pretty okay with it. But the fact it was in the second, it just starved us the chance to maybe see an alternative winner. Yeah, I just couldn't help but really feel for Marc and Ryan, honestly. But I must say that by that same token, I thought John played it absolutely perfectly, and yeah, will be flying himself coming into this weekend.
Yeah, obviously he had a 6-red shootout himself last night. I don't know if you caught that against Christophe Lambert.
I didn't. I did wonder, actually. So I went to bed just as those two were heading into about 5-4, I think. So yeah, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, it ended up 6 each, and John went first, posted a time of nearly 32 seconds. And Christophe just couldn't. He had a good break and a good opportunity, but he just couldn't quite get over it. So myself and Simon Webb were talking last night, saying, John's one of those ones we expect to win a title, an individual title with Ultimate Pool. He's got a Pairs Cup title now. But couldn't that Pairs Cup just be the thing that spurs him over the line, gives him that little bit of confidence?
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't rule it out.
Fleming's been very good value for this finish too.
Yeah, hasn't he just gone about it really nicely? Always a good sign in the early going of a match when both players can go in the break and run. Just get the sense that you're in for a good match then. Slightly awkward queuing here, and Marc's fidgety on it.
It's kind of a style with Marc, actually, if you watch him. That kind of when he's not quite comfortable, he will come back and reset himself.
Tough one to address the cue ball, and that's caught him out. He'll be absolutely sick at that.
Yeah, you saw the facial expression there as he walked past the camera.
Well, maybe I'll put the commentator's curse on because it won't be back-to-back break and runs, but he was never comfortable on that shot. That much was very, very evident. But once he was there, you never expected him to miss it. Just the way that he's digging down there. I mean, he's a relatively tall guy, Marc Fleming, but digging down off the rail there to try and stop the cue ball, you've got to play it quite hard, and you just don't quite have your sights aligned sometimes.
Yeah, because of the way you're digging down, any sort of compartment of side on the ball, whether you mean it or you don't, it's going to throw the path of the cue ball, which is obviously going to affect the potting angle. And he was pretty much dead straight there, so he needed to hit right in the centre. But he's given a golden opportunity to Declan Brennan to turn the screw. Deck, for all intents and purposes, looks like 2 visits and a 2-0 lead. 3 simple balls. This is surely going to settle him down.
Yeah, he really looks comfortable, doesn't he? Just a bit of housekeeping. Meanwhile, while Decky goes through these, his current scoreline: Hitton Patel 6, Jordan Shepherd 6. Now, I'm not saying you should abandon me and Pearson, go over to stream table 2, but put it this way: I wouldn't be too upset with you if you did. Let's catch that decided. Declan Brennan goes 2-0 in front. Just remember to come back. That's what I'd say. In this tournament, Declan Brennan back on his break. He leads by 2 frames to 0.
Another crunching break from Deck.
Gets a lot of... I mean, you can see the revolutions on the cue ball. Seems to get quite a bit of... I don't know if it's side or just a reaction off the front ball, but he almost arcs it into it, doesn't he? Maybe he didn't hit it 100%.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's to do with that kind of cut break stance, but hitting the front ball sort of hybrid type thing that he's come up with, that maybe he has to hit it like that in order to make it work. We'll definitely leave that one to the mind of Declan Brennan.
So the last 16 is shaping up pretty nicely. Dave McMurray will take on Sean Chipperfield. Neil Raybone will face Jordan Shepherd. Great match that one. Arfan Dad is awaiting the winner of Simon Fitzsimmons and Rob Warren. And meanwhile, this match between Declan Brennan and Marc Fleming will play the winner of John Rowe and Shane Thompson. I just think the tournament has really opened wide up with the results yesterday, with Waddingham, with Whelan, with Melling, with Dempsey, all falling in the opening round. All of a sudden, there's a few people, I reckon, when looked at that draw and gone, all right, here we go. Fancy this.
I was on with Simon Webb on the main table last night. We were doing Stevie's game, and when Stevie went out, and then obviously when we went and saw when Chris was eliminated, I said to Si, I think we could see either a new name on the trophy or a name that we haven't seen on a trophy for a while. It's definitely opened right up.
Yeah, and the thing is you end up, because of the way that it's difficult to win, and it's difficult to win consistently, and yet somehow people keep doing it. You know, we've had lots of similar winners, and a lot of multiple winners, and there are so many world-class players who've yet to lift that first trophy. I'm just going to let Decky play this shot here because it's a big one after that breakout. Feels like a frame ball, this one, and he's played it beautifully. Wants that to keep moving. I think it has, just.
Yeah, it's tight. Oh, he's a little shake of the head there. It might be half a turn. Very, very tight. Can he spin it in? It's not far away.
Oh, Decky, you tease. You tease. Flew in. Unbelievable.
Didn't even touch the sides.
I think that was a shake of the head akin to the same shake of the head that Jordan Shepherd did on the other table, where he's like, oh, I got away with one there.
Another nice positional shot. See a similar path of the cue ball off the top and the side cushion. Just track for this 8 ball. Lovely shot from Declan Brennan. And again, 3 visits.
Yeah, pretty perfect start, isn't it?
This is the type of thing I think this is ominous for everybody, not just for Marc Fleming, but for everybody in the draw. When you see Decky kind of getting to where he is and playing like this,
people just pick up on. But I think the likes of John, of Phil Harrison, Declan, our fan who's been to a final, Chippy, and all of a sudden the draw opens up and you really fancy it. What a break this is from Marc Fleming, by the way. This is an absolute snorter.
He's absolutely flushed them.
Well, he's got that little, I call it almost a Chris Melling sort of style break, where he almost tops the cue ball to try and make it stop. And I mean, look at that. I think he has to take yellows here, which is his only issue, because he's opened the table up so much, it's actually limited his options. He can't take reds because that red on the right rail. He's got work to do on yellows, they're not easy.
Yeah, yellow's certainly the tougher colour set, but that one makes things a little bit different if he can. He just needs to play a shot here. The yellow and red that are glued together close by each other on the right hand side of the table is an obvious problem. It looks like he's going to top through this and leave the angles to see if he can screw into it right now. He's got that little bit of insurance with the yellow to the left of the 8 ball.
Yeah.
This match has been a high standard. Oh, he's just not got into that enough. This is definitely something when you look at it, Jimmo, where Marc's 3-0 behind. He's had 1 goal and missed 1 pot and hasn't seen the table in the other 2 frames.
Do you draw back here? Because ultimately with the weird break that he had where he's nearly taken every red off the table, reds aren't brilliant here, and I'm not surprised to see that shot, because Decky can't go either. So he's not lost the frame with that missed cannon. He's still thinking clearly out there to try and build from a base.
It's a tough one because I'm not sure the double, maybe the double the yellow, maybe not, the 8 ball could be in the way, so there's no obvious breaker ball either from either colour set really to get into this.
No, not at all. This frame may well have some mileage in it.
It's funny whenever there's only 3 colours of each set left on the table and you can sort of tell that there might be a little bit of mileage left to go.
I think this yellow is, probably not now, could have been used as a breaker ball. The thing is you sort of in your mind's eye, you're thinking, oh well, maybe if he plays that shot, and you realise, yeah, how hard a shot is that though? I think it's not a shot you'd want to leave. Yeah. At some point, Marc will feel like he has to.
I'm excellent to call no shots from here.
What's Declan playing here? I love that for Declan, because now he's got a double.
Yeah, he's given himself an opportunity.
The yellow still doesn't go, which is important because the 8 ball's presence. Marc's got to play a really touchy little shot here. I think he's played that really well, you know.
Yeah, he's kind of forcing Declan into the having to move it. Can he clip it thin enough? Oh, looks like a foul. Yep.
Called it straight away.
He was trying to play that so thin so as he didn't move the red. paper thin, take the paint off the ball, and he's just missed it.
Those are almost impossible to judge those. And Declan runs aground, gives up the foul. This is the shot that I thought Marc could play. He's looking to top off the bottom rail into that yellow. It's much easier when you've got cue ball in hand to play it, of course, and he's played that perfectly. It's just what he wanted.
Yeah, and this will settle him down. First frame on the board.
Yeah, Decky will be frustrated, but he'll also know that that was a frame that he wasn't really supposed to win. That's what he'll be telling himself. And all of a sudden, that tournament feels very wide open, and I'm looking forward to it. As we see Declan break off, and immediately says not a kind leave, but we shall see.
Yeah, my focus is on players from the island of Ireland.
Of course.
This time around, I don't know if I've probably told everybody in this building the stats so far, but we've had 8 pro events thus far, 8 challenger events, and 4 women's series events, so 20 tournaments in total. 11 of those tournaments have had an Irish player in the final.
Wow.
And we've taken 6 titles back across the Irish Sea. I think that's just incredible.
It is. It really is.
First pot we've seen missed from Declan Brennan. It's tough.
Yeah, and as I say, sometimes it just takes that really difficult one to get in the way. Marc still doesn't want anything to do with this frame.
Yeah, I think just when Deck missed that yellow to the middle, it kind of tied everything up and changed the obvious choice of the colour set. See a little bit of tipping and a little bit of tapping that we don't often see with Ultimate Pool. This brings me back to my junior days. Given how international rules plays, it's not long before this type of stuff gives. Both players just keeping it tight. They know the swing in the match here. Both have been pretty good. We've only seen a couple of missed pots from each. But other than that, they've both been good value for the scoreline. So neither one is going to want to give anything up to their opponent.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the Pro Series, every match is vitally important. You don't ever get a match off, really.
There's just so much pool. Like, for anybody that's never been here before, it's just a phenomenal spectacle. So many players, so many tournaments. If you run deep in something, it's just roll on, roll off, roll on, roll off, and you have to be ready. We're with you through all day today, both on this main table and on tables 1 and 2. All day today, all day tomorrow, and all day on Sunday.
What a weekend. What a weekend. You don't need to do anything else.
Extension, please.
Still no colour set decided?
No, and open table tactical battles are fascinating to watch because there's loads going on. There's a little bit of cat and mouse. Can you bait your opponent into going if you don't want to? Can you force your opponent to retreat when you want to go? Can you promote a colour set without making it look like you're promoting a colour set? Well, that's no longer open table. Marc Fleming's got reds to go at. And quite honestly, Marc, rather you than me, mate. These are not nice. Yellows are horrible as well.
Yeah, again, connection's not great.
Just wonder if there's an element there of Marc going, well, I'll play that, and if it goes in, you know, I can work my way from the ground up. Or do you think he's should not going? Yeah, that's a nice shot. Just wanted a red down the bottom of the table, build a connection, as you say, to that red by the 8 ball.
He's also developed that red. It did go to the bottom right corner, but he's got more options on it now as well. It's a nice shot. A little bit of a head-scratching moment for Declan Brennan. He's not just... I don't think he can see that all of this yellow.
Quite like that for Decky.
Just trying to make a little bit of traffic, a little bit of things in the way of the 8 ball.
Yeah, reds are really tough here. I actually don't think yellows are too bad, you know. I think if Declan is left a pot on, he may be tempted, because the yellows connect by the middle pocket, that big area, and they certainly do now.
Yeah, Marc just a little hand up after that double kiss, but we take everything that we get. Yeah, Marc had to kind of move them because Deck had an obvious breaker ball for that sort of dead yellow, and Marc didn't have anything for his red, so clever choice of shot there, a little bit fortunate, but I'll not take that away from him.
Well, Decky needs to find a way to keep this cue ball at the bottom end of the table, because if he can start to pot a ball or two and almost pick this one apart. I think he looked for a clever little lost turn there.
He definitely did.
Love the thinking.
He's also created a little bit more traffic for that red and that 8 ball, just sort of towards the racking part of the table. It's a good shot.
He's judged that well, yeah.
It's a really good shot. That's one of those shots that looked easy, but the judgment, the pace control, everything, and it was really, really well played from Marc Fleming. Some marking out to do. We're going to have a bit of mileage still in this frame.
Yeah, I think so.
Always things like this fascinate me, because as that match clock keeps ticking down, the longer this frame goes on, the more the pressure builds.
Well, this is a shot from Marc Fleming. Just love how well judged this was pace-wise. Clever shot on the red because it blocked the yellow at the time. Just lots of things going on with that shot that was really well executed.
Very easy to overhit, very easy to underhit.
And all of a sudden you look at these, and reds are probably the superior suit.
Yeah, they definitely are. Declan with a lot more work to do in this frame now than Marc. Intrigued to see how Decky goes about this, because there's an argument to say sometimes when it's time to go, it's time to go.
Sometimes when it's time to go, it's time to go. What a shot.
Yeah, lovely pot there. Always knew he was going into that yellow. Probably would have preferred a better angle. He's just kind of had a little bit of a double kiss there and come the wrong side of it. But they're so hard to judge, those shots. Have to rely on a little bit of luck. He is on it.
Fancy a 4-ball plan?
Rather him than me.
Yeah, I think the bottom one goes. Just get through to the potting angle. Then can you get it back and bump the red and make some action happen? Well, there's your answer. He can pull it back and bump the red, but he can't get any action going. All of a sudden he's in a bit of bother.
He had to be so precise for that shot. Surprised actually to see him not inject a little bit more pace into that. Sort of, I know you're trusting to a little bit of luck, but just given how things were. What can you come up with here, Declan? Off the cushion. He's trying to make it in the middle. It's close. Is the double there? Oh, it's just got in the way.
I thought that was there for a second.
That was flying in.
Extension call.
I actually think Jimmy was trying to make that initial yellow off the 8-ball and into the pocket. And he's just missed it. And the double's kind of been right on track and just kissed. But he's given Marc Fleming here a tremendous opportunity. I actually really like how Marc's gone through this frame because he's nudged his own balls out, kind of teased Declan into it. Declan's sort of been forced into taking on a really, really, really tough finish. Calculated gamble probably from Marc Fleming, but that's pool. That's how we play. Sometimes you just have to give your opponent the chance and hope that they don't make it, and it's really paid off for Marc.
I think he's handled this frame brilliantly, Marc. I think he won that tactical exchange, and now he's got the opportunity to win the frame off the back of that. You know, there was a stage in that exchange where we both said, I think you'd rather be yellows here, Declan looks good. And then Marc just chipped away a couple of really good shots, and all of a sudden, he looks at the table and think, well, yeah, I'd much rather be reds, actually. It's a sign of a good bit of sort of long game work from Marc Fleming.
Yeah, we'll see how much of the match clock's been chewed up. Huge frame in the context of this match. Just under the halfway point. It's a lovely piece of cueing from Marc Fleming, setting up this simple 2-ball combination to go just one behind, and from 3-0 Deck hasn't really done a whole lot wrong, and Marc's been really good value. It's been a good game.
It's been a good game. It's been close.
Marc travelling by himself this weekend too. Shout out to my old pal Ryan Fleming. He's not very well.
Just take a little bit of pinch of salt for now. I know the team behind the scenes are working on it. But for example, I know for a fact Jordan Shepherd 176, and I watched him do it. So it wasn't hitting Patel he got through, just in case you might be wondering. There's the break from Marc Fleming. Got a little bit slug rack there, and it's not come out particularly nicely at the bottom of the table. But I think he's still got an opportunity from his first shot here. Not an easy one, mind.
Certainly not.
It's his first shot that's the biggest problem, which is always the worst, because you know wherever you put the cue ball, someone's going to be able to go at the first opportunity.
Yeah, but by taking on this red, if he makes it, he's going to give himself a whole host of opportunity. Oh, he's just missed it. Oh.
I love the aggression. I love the choice of shot. Shows he's confident.
Yeah, it was a high tariff shot too, because he knew if he didn't get it, he was going to give the opportunity to Declan. There's arguments for both colour sets here, but I think it's reds for me still. It looks like it's reds for Declan. They all have a pocket, it just depends on what order you want to go through. Declan look like he's going to play into these.
Full ball on that yellow. Just glanced off the side of it. I think he's just about still okay.
I'll have to say he's got a bit fortunate if he is. Yeah, and he is. It's a really nice shot, really lovely recovery shot. It's the yellow at the top of the table, red at the top of the table rather. He's going to just want to track on it. Argument to say that it could be his last ball. I think the way they've played it, Says it will be his last ball.
Got a lovely angle, just drift up the table here. Let's just reset Declan a little bit, because it wasn't an ideal last couple of frames. He'll feel like he's cost himself them, which might be a slightly harsh opinion, but I can tell you that is how he will feel.
Absolutely.
So he's looking for one here to get himself back on track.
Nice shot. Well controlled. A little bit hampered. Yep. This should be okay. I don't want to jinx him, but that's there.
Never in doubt, was it?
Never in doubt. Declan Brennan with a great response there.
So Declan Brennan on his break. He leads by 4 frames to 2. Just starting to tick down on the match clock and tick up on the scoreboard, and all of a sudden this match isn't far away from completion. If Declan Brennan can fly. Marc Fleming's still very much alive though.
Another absolutely crunching break from Deck. Again, we see the spin on that cue ball that you were talking about.
That's the best one he's hit, I think.
Yeah.
Watch a little flamingo leg. Pop.
It's one for the highlight reel.
Yeah, he struck that amazingly well. Because he is still looking, he's not had it perfect, but he is still looking for that, you know, as you would break if you were breaking from the centre spot on the balk line. He's still looking for that cue ball at the centre of the table. That's still the goal, just at a slightly off angle. And that was the first time I think he really found it, with not an overt helping of side spin.
It kind of defies physics the way that happens, the way he makes it come straight back as if he hit the sort of, you know, full on.
Like 3/4 ball, yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I can't get my head around it. You shouldn't get that much power through the pack like that, but there he is.
It was kind of in Morocco where we saw that first sort of turn and the first use of that break, and obviously it worked when he walked away with a World Masters title.
Absolutely.
He's given himself an incredible opportunity here again. Really, this could really turn the screw. The 8 ball available into the bottom left corner pocket. Just got a couple of shots to play just to make sure about the position. He's going to want to leave a nice angle here. He's also going to want to make sure that he can get his hand on the table. Just like that. A little bit of a twitch to the head there as he might be a little bit straight, so I think his initial plan, yeah. He's just re-looking. He might have to come below the 8 ball here on the left-hand side. I think he's just about maybe half a turn of the cue ball too far.
Yeah, but it's a comfortable shot though. It's not his original plan, but it's a comfortable enough shot. He just needs to. This is where pool players can get in their own head a little bit. This is a completely fine 8 ball to pot, but you see him miss more than often because it wasn't plan A. Declan Brennan was clinical.
Plan B is good enough.
But he's had a lot going on off the table. He's had a new arrival in the family, and I know from speaking to Tom Cousins that his regular old practice buddy hasn't been around very much in the last few weeks. I think he's been catching up on some Z's. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how Sean goes. He'll probably play with a lot of freedom because he won't put any expectations on this weekend. But that will be a very interesting match, that's for sure. Because ultimately, all that being said, he's still a world-class player.
Phenomenal player. Jez missed a couple of chances last night. Sean's obviously, really got over the line. So I think it depends if Ryan Marcus can show the form that he did against Luke Gilbert. I don't think it'll matter too much who he's playing, because it was pretty much 7 opportunities, 7 finishes. Turn our attention back to this game. Is that gonna? Yeah, he's going for it.
Like that. It's come out okay. His issue is what does he play next, because he's got the red available to the bottom left. But then does anything else pot, or are they all in each other's way? I think it might be the latter. I think the one closest to the bottom left corner pocket probably goes, but it's difficult to get on it off this red. He's looking to see if the one close to the right corner pocket goes. It's tight.
Yeah. I just see Deck pointing to something, exactly where he wants to leave it. I think you're right. I think he thinks this one to the bottom right corner pots, and if it does, that opens everything up. Very tough. The camera angle can cheat us sometimes. As to me, it doesn't look like it goes, but
yeah, all the time for me. Never trust it.
Yeah, we obviously didn't, and that's why we see Deck pull back. He's played that well.
Lives to fight another day.
It's just opened things up. It's a very simple shot, but a very clever shot. He just opens things up a bit.
Yeah, playing the long game in this frame. He's still in a great position.
Imparts all the pressure on his opponent.
I think Marc thinks he can get this cushion first. Lots of left. Yeah, shots.
What a shot, Marc Fleming.
Yeah, I love that. He's absolutely screwing his landed there. One place on the table he wouldn't want it to land. Have another watch of this though. This is a lovely little shot. Loads of left-hand side cushion first.
This Graham game's so cruel.
Oh, and then look what he's been rewarded with. How do you like those apples? Awkward queuing. Marc struggled a little bit with this tonight. Today even. Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, that's a good pot. That's a lot better than what it looks. Cue ball's just a little bit smaller than the object ball, so when you're glued to a ball like that, you've only got a fraction of a ball to be able to aim at.
This next shot's not nice though. Gets out from here at one of the clearances of the weekend. It's that tough. He's in a horrible position.
Well, if it gets out from here, I think we can make a note to clip it, because this will be all over social media. Yeah, Deck. You see the eyes just flicking between the table and Marc. He wants to know, is Marc going to go for these? Is he going to pull back? I think that answers the question. He's going for him. How fortunate has he been?
Oh, has he had a nudge? To be fair, you could suggest he deserves one. I think he may have had one, or can Declan see the red to the bottom right? I think he may.
I think he can just get through to this.
Yeah, he can. He might just need to bend it a little. I think he might even be straight through. Yeah, he is. Straight down the barrel. Great camera shot.
And he's a bit of a scratch of the head. He wanted to land on this one to the bottom left corner. He might still be on it, but he wants to avoid that cannon, but he can't if he takes it. He's still just not nice. Such fine margins in this game between having something really nice, something really easy to go at, and something a lot more difficult. Deck's gearing up here. JMO Deck's going around the ankles.
Here we go. Hold on to your hats. 2, 3.
The line's good. What's the pace like? The line's good.
Heck of a shot there. He's close enough, I think. I think he's just going to nip this, but the cloth been so reactive. I think he's absolutely fine. Just off the side cushion.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't know. He was playing that with check side originally to try to kill the pace of the cue ball off, and then he changed his mind. Interesting to see. Yeah, he's trying to do exactly as you say. He's just trying to nip it. Oh, he just tried to pinch the pocket. And he's given Marc Fleming a really, really good counter opportunity.
Could be a huge turning point in this match.
Deck picked the line perfectly on that positional shot. He was literally half a ball just too short to get another look at it. The one before it, but just literally just such fine fractional margins.
Yeah. I think he could actually afford, I think if he wanted to maybe not try and bench it a little bit. Just almost take the pot on his merits. Wouldn't have helped his cue ball, but I think he was okay enough to be there as we enter the last 10 minutes of the match.
We know what that little beep means.
15-second shot clock time.
15-second shot clock on the play.
Just the referee letting the players know. They're well used to it by now. Well, maybe they're not. 15 seconds. That's where the pressure starts to ramp up, and Marc Fleming, as it looks for all the world he will, is going to cut the deficit to 2. We're in for an exciting conclusion to this match.
To go 6-1 in front, and, well, say Shabba. He's on the hill. Declan Brennan on the break. God, crunch.
Dry.
Yeah, is that the sort of, is the last, how often do we see it? The dry break after what feels like a bit of a turning point frame.
Yeah,
Didn't get all of that, Declan Brennan, I think it's fair to say.
No, he definitely did. You saw the cue ball just... Oh, Marc!
Oh, that's a cardinal sin.
Oh, Marc.
Oh, that's a bad one.
And with cue ball in hand, look at these reds.
Extension, please.
Oh, that's a real bad one from Marc Fleming. He can't believe it.
Declan just taking his extension, a little bit of extra time. He's mapped out this finish.
Yeah, Declan Brennan's mind. These are already gone.
And Marc's going to be kicking himself. You don't get many opportunities off the Declan Brennan break, and he's broken so well this game. If you're going to win this match, you can't make mistakes like that. Declan Brennan, simple shot, short look at the clock.
Yeah, you won't need to worry about that.
I think Marc knew whenever he made that mistake that these were gone.
Such a huge error.
So Deck restores his 3-frame advantage.
Trailing 6 frames to 3.
Marc Fleming needs a ball. Wouldn't you know it?
Of course.
Wouldn't you know it? Marc Fleming almost ran back to his chair like he was expected to be there.
And it was just never in doubt. That cue ball, as soon as it hit the pack, there was only one place it was going. That was the right middle pocket. Giving Declan a chance to close out this match. It's not an easy one. But he's certainly at the table.
Oh, hope for Marc Fleming. poor one from Decky, that.
Yeah. Similar idea to Marc, you know, in the previous frame. Decky had to know that was
Close to the time foul. It's not going to be.
But the dynamic changes as it is, because Marc has to be the aggressor here. He can't wait for, you know, glorious golden opportunities anymore.
Don't think that necessarily harms him. He's got 6 minutes. He's got the time. He has the time, and a 15-second shot clock. 2 minutes a frame is absolutely fine, and he will just want to be level. He can't think as far as trying to get the win here at 6-3 down. You're just trying to fight back to get level, and then what will be will be. He needs 3 frames. He will have another break to get one of those 3 frames as well. So he just needs to go. He's been given an opening there by Declan Brennan.
And on that note of Marc trying to draw level, I know another certain pro who'll be who'll be rubbing his hands at the thought of a Declan Brennan 6-red shootout.
Yeah, I can think of someone.
It was let's just say there was some friendly banter thrown about on the train on the way up yesterday.
Just didn't quite have the line. I want it to be above that red, and he's below it. And now he's got to find a crazy shot here.
In off the yellow. Yeah, I think the yellow was too far out there.
That was
but
so tough.
he didn't really have much of a choice.
No. So Declan Brennan gets his second chance to win the match.
Oh, what a shot that is.
Cool. Wow, what a shot. Terrific double from Declan Brennan. Played it with a degree of safety. You can see where he's left the cue ball. But now he can go. What a brilliant shot. Vision to see that on a 15-second shot clock is something else, isn't it?
Get another look at this. I was wondering, I thought he was playing at the middle, too much pace, but Declan.
How good is that?
Tasty shot from Declan Brennan. Gives him gilt-edged opportunity to close out this match. For our first match on Friday rather. Getting ahead of myself. Our first match on Friday on the main table under the lights. Deck he'll be pleased with this. It's been a competent performance. Certainly not his best. Definitely not his worst.
Yeah, it certainly has been. And 2 balls away here. From ensuring he does get the victory. Declan the Destroyer marches on. Super match that one with Marc Fleming.